So, ngiyahlonipha. Okay?
Me as an individual?
Yeah, you
or
as
in
an
general?
individual.
Oh,
Yeah, ngiyahlonipha.
Uzongithethisa. Oh,
Yeah,
let me
I'm
brace
laying
myself.
the foundation. In
I know
fact-
where this is going.
Asivalela.
Okay, Zola, go for
Yeah,
it. Damn.
Penuel. Yeah, so Penuel, mina ngintombazane yomZulu. I'm very proud of the fact that ngikhuliswe kwaZulu by a Zulu dad and a Swati mom. And besimula ekhaya, usiko lasekhaya ukumula. In other words, we needed to stay virgins until the age of 21 and then celebrate the fact that we stayed virgins. Whatever it means to my father and whatever it means to us as girls. My father had 4 daughters and 1 son, Utonga.
Shout out to your father.
Right?
I've never heard anyone use the term ukumula.
Yeah.
Sazu memulo, that
Yeah,
coming of age at
memulo,
21.
yeah.
But ukumula is the term I'm hearing for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, ukumula phela kuhambiselana nomemulo. Like my little sister, so when umemulo wakhe in a couple of months.
Congrats to her.
Yeah. And she's 23. Hey. So anyway, the reason I'm giving you this background, outside of being proud of my structure, is I did my best to grow up ngiphathe kahle, to behave the way my parents taught me, to behave the way my culture and my religion, coaches me to behave. I thought, that I was smart enough to navigate life to a point where it's comfortable. But of course, life doesn't work like that. Yabo. And so one of the things that is in Patagabi about myself, I don't generally take part in regret because it's useless. But and it's becoming a single mom. I went to varsity to go get an LLB degree, and I did. I refused to date. I refused to date so much that my dad said, "Hey, mntana msifuna ukukhuluma nawe la. Yazi ukuthi umungekho, umuthanda abantu intombazane, sakubona ukuthi awujoli. If uthanda amantombazane, hey, kuzoba nzima nyana." Yeah, I loved it. I was like, well, I was not expecting that conversation. He drove all the way. I was staying in Reyes, in varsity.
I was worried about you being lesbian. Khuleka ubathanda abafana.
Yabo nje, mekunjalo. Hey, what's izandla? Yeah, I was like, where does that come from?
That's cute.
Hey, Baba, I just want to finish my degree.
Yeah.
Because I tried this dating thing. It didn't work out. It doesn't work out when you insist on staying a virgin, this dating thing.
Yeah, generally.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Generally.
So let me study, yabo. So when I finished, I got the LLB degree. And then I was now in final year when I met the person I have kids with. Yeah. Right. I gave him the skeleton of how my fairy tale vision of a relationship is. I want this. I'd like to be treated like this, and I'm very scared of being cheated on. I'm scared of this and whatnot and whatnot. And at the end of that 5-year period, I had 2 boys with him, and we broke up while I was pregnant with the second baby. And his summary to me as the relationship was ending was, you gave me the footprint of how to, pretend to you and how to break your heart. Because he actually played out my worst case scenario. But that's fine. That's his journey. It's got nothing to do with me. Now, where I'm going again with this personal background is, mengi tetisa. You must self-reflect. I say, I shouldn't have had kids now. I shouldn't have been fooled by the things he was doing because they were exactly what I had told him. I should have done better. This is me. I'm not saying I'm correct or wrong. This is me.
Personal accountability.
Yeah. Now, with all of that pain and history, because it's a pain. It's a pain to be a single mom when it's something you never intended on being. It's a pain as foolish as it was to be the single mom, but it is still a pain. Yabo lento kuthiwa noma wrong kodwa still uyayifeel so as noma you were naughty, don't drink and drive. But even if you were naughty and you had alcohol and you drove and you crashed, you're still going to feel the pain of the crash.
Painful.
Just because it was wrong doesn't mean the pain is not going to come. So babhlungu lento ukuthi ngibe usingle mom. Now the last thing as I'm reflecting and feeling this pain I would need is the person I had these kids with and it didn't work out, to use a platform I don't have access to and say, this and this and this is how incorrect my baby mama is. And as a result, I'm not saying that's what you said. I'm saying that's the pain you touched, you invoked when you boldly stated, my baby mama is wrong, therefore, ngiyapumala. Okay? I'm not going to go into details. It's your story. It's not mine. Mina nje ngitshela ukuthi this is my painful story. And as a person, oklonipayo,
Yes.
Ngafunda leyo nto leyo, and that pain ngayizwa futhi. Yabo. So yeah, ilokho nje, I wanted to share that with you. Now, with that being said, I have legal solutions to what you stated. From how I understand, you can correct me, you stated, if I'm being deprived of visitation rights or access to my child, then I'm not going to be giving financial support. I will catch up with the financial support later when my child comes to me. And I disagree with that holistically for two reasons. Reason number one is, there is a matter. I actually spoke to my friend, she's an attorney, and she deals with family law. L. Jacobs, Laurentia Jacobs. Laurentia Jacobs, this morning. I said to her, please can you talk to me about how Penuel can gain access to his children? She says there's two processes. The one is a high court. There goes that high court. There goes that high court. The one is a high court and family advocate. Each high court has a family advocate office across from that court where people can go and draw up parenting plans. It's supervised. There's professionals that are involved in the whole process. Once the parenting plan is there, then they take it over to the building that is the high court and they make it a formal court order. Anyone who goes against it is obviously breaking law. That's the one. She says, I'm not a fan of it because it takes a while. The one I'm a fan of is the children's court. The children's court one is more simple because there's a form. She says, I'll email it to you because I'm coming to talk to you.
No problem.
So she says, I'll email it to you tomorrow. The reason for this is why I prefer that one. It's because you just simply you can get an attorney or you can DIY it. You go to the children's court, they are sitting at the local magistrate's court. Each local magistrate court has a children's court in it. You get this form, you fill it in, and you get a date that takes about 4 weeks.
Sure.
Yes, a Penuel. After 4 weeks, you go there, you stand in front of the presiding officer, and you plead your case. You say, this is the ngifuna abantwana bami beze egoli. She's so caught up in her emotions that she's not seeing the bigger picture. Yoguti, it benefits my children when I'm in their lives. Because women do. They get caught up in the heartache. So much that they use it as istwepu to the dad. And sometimes as they hit the dad, they hit the child. Yeah. And it's like the rage and anger and resentment and whatever the emotions are blind them so much that they carry on with this action. And it's wrong. Stop it to hurt men that hurt you. Because once a man has walked out of your life, he doesn't care so much you can't hurt him. So the only person you're hurting really is your child. So stop that nonsense. So mufiga lapaya ufige ubachele, this is the case. I'm in Johannesburg, my children are in KZN or Cape Town, whatever the case may be. And she says the reason I love that process is because even at that first date, they can give you an interim order. An interim order is an order that's temporary. That's going to be made a final order later or amended in its nature. They give you an interim order right there and they say, starting this coming week, Penuel is going to have 4 days with his kids.
Sure.
Next year, 3 years from now, in 2 weeks. Yabo. So that's process number one, which is the legal process. Now, sometimes, available mama can be very intense. They're engineering. Distraction. Hey, yeah, I know it. Yabo. And I know it because I've seen it, but I also know it because I felt pain and I could have gone that way. Yeah. I have a very strong praying mother. What's
your mom?
I'm alive.
Your Swati mom.
Yeah, my Swati mom. Yeah, I'm alive. I'm here for you. You don't have to carry the resentment and anger. Just reflect. And they're great with their great grandparents. Now, the second reason I'm having this discussion with you is there is a concept called a family trust, okay? You, Penuel, have the ability to found this trust, to be a founder of it, where we draft what is called a trust deed and we fill in some forms, acceptance of your duty as a founder and trustee, and we appoint people to assist you. So you are a founder, you are also a trustee, and the act says minimum 2 trustees. So it's you, or even your baby mama. Because what I'm trying to get to here is kufanelwe ku-understandwane. As people, we must understand each other. Yes, the relationship didn't work out. Xolani, pholani, move on. Okay, now that the relationship hasn't worked out, what are the emotions? Okay, usakwatil, I'll give you some time, but also keep in mind, those children don't have all the time. We keep giving each other.
Sure.
Iy'ngane ziyakhula. Now, when you finished getting over the emotional turmoil, come to your logical, because it's hlakaniphile here. uNkulunkulu wasipha indalo, intelligence. Come to a point where you don't have to be friends, you don't have to bride together, you don't have to hang out, but you can be trustees of a trust where the children you had together are beneficiaries.
Correct.
Right? It's just an office. You don't even have to hold meetings. It's just a tool you use to protect whatever it is that you're building for the benefit of the beneficiary. Exactly. So, baby mama lo osaphatheke kabi ngiyabonga ngiyam-excuse phela how
Babili, by the way.
usis. Yeah?
Babili.
Okay, Babin.
Yeah.
So, baby mama laba basaphatheke kabi. This is me giving them the olive branch.
Sure.
If abakokwazi ukwehlisa imimoya kwamanje abakhumbule lento engiqeda ukisho ukuthi uswazi labo alishaya uPenuel lishaya iy'ngane zabo.
Correct.
Abavumi ukuba ama-trustees nawe. We draft, I will do it. I'll do it for you, Penuel.
Hey,
I won't even charge you a cent.
on camera.
And you are the founder. She is the trustee. You are the trustee. The child or two children are the beneficiaries. We register it. We get a letter of authority. We open a trust account. We file those documents. We digitize them in case we lose the originals. We file the originals and we put them away in a folder. Each time we put an asset in the trust, we keep putting it in this file, whether digital or the physical file. We start off with an account that has money in it. So if mama bathathi imali zabantwana bayothenga izinto ezibizayo, put it in the trust. Don't give them access to that account. Even as you open the account, don't even make them a trustee. But do use the structure because it exists, and it exists to benefit the children where humans fail them. Yeah. So
Thank you. Jeez, I'm going to have to take it all the way back. But before I do, a rough estimate for people that are going to be watching of the cost of the family trust, because they might be like, I think I need that.
I need the structure. Well, look, I think it's about 10K.
10,000.
Yeah, to just register it. But there's two types of ways to get this trust done. There's your financial institutions, your banks, your fiduciary companies. Those will charge you a percentage of how much you intend on putting in that trust, which then equates to quite a high cost, which then makes people not go through that process. So I'm more for the DIY route.
10,000.
Get your own trust, register to a one-off fee, and then you have a tax practitioner that you use. Are you practicing? I heard you say you study tax.
No, I'm not practicing at all.
Do you intend on going back to practice?
Zero.
Go party.
It's a story for another day.
Okay, we'll take a
Don't touch my pains. No, I'm kidding. I wasn't called for that type of work. I'm doing what I think I'm more called for.
Yeah, I get you. I hear you. Right. So the second route, we all have tax practitioners because we want to be tax compliant. So give your tax practitioner your letter of authority and let them just do the annual tax of it. Sure. If you don't invest monies in it and it doesn't earn an income, your tax returns will most probably come back as null. It's when you are starting to generate an income in your trust that it's taxed, and trusts are taxed at quite a high tax, 45%.
It's 45 now. Yeah. Let's not talk about trust. I was just asking for interest. So you can go through the banks, etc. They charge a percentage of how much is in there.
Yeah.
And then if you do it yourself,
and an annual fee.
An
annual fee.
And then with
if you DIY,
you're looking at minimum about 10,000.
10,000 to register it. Yeah, could be more.
And then your income is taxed at 45%.
Don't generate an income. Just put capital assets in there. Put a house and cars.
We'll unpack trust because I think those are your passion.
Yeah.
That's your passion talk.
We'll
have to do that maybe for...
I run workshops on trusts.
Yeah, maybe we'll do an hour of that and I'll raise all my issues with trusts.
Okay, perfect.
And then you'll counter them.
Yeah, of course.
In that. I just wanted to ask that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that solution for myself and other... It's not just for families that are broken up, for people to know. Even if your family is intact, you can set up a family trust for the benefits of your kids.
100%.
Thank you.
You're right about that, yeah.